What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Yotna, and we got some stuff to talk about today. New Amnesia game coming out, FF7 demo just dropped this week, as well as the Ghost of Tsushima story trailer / release date trailer. All that coming up and more on this week's gaming recap. Let's get it. Again, welcome to the Gaming Recap, where I cover the previous week's game-related news. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as ring the bell notification icon so you get notified when my new videos drop every Sunday. Now, off the top, we're going to get into the first news topic of the week that I thought was pretty significant. Now, they're not in any particular order. They might be all over the place. You know, hey, look, we just cover any topic, no matter when it drops. Now, the first topic we're going to get into is the new Amnesia game coming from Fictional Games. Now, Fictional Games is, of course, the creator of Amnesia, and they also made the, I believe, 2015 game Soma as well. So, you know, they're very well known in the horror space. Now, this is a new game coming this autumn called Amnesia Rebirth. Amnesia Rebirth features a new character exploring a new place while pursued by a new unspeakable thing. It's set in the Algerian desert and follows a character named Tassi Trainin on, as the official announcement puts, a harrowing journey through devastation and despair, personal terror and pain, while exploring limits of human resilience. Now, I've played, I believe, the first two Amnesia games. I don't think I ever beat either of them. I really enjoyed the Outlast series, and I beat both of those games. But I just think at the time that I played these two Amnesia games, I just didn't fully get all the way into them. And I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, I was scared. But for whatever reason, back then, I never finished them. But since then, I've gone on to complete games like Outlast and Alien Isolation and so on and so forth. Resident Evil 7 as well. That's another kind of survival horror game that fits in this style like Amnesia. But yeah, since then, I've beaten some games like that. So maybe with this one, I might actually go all the way and beat it. We'll see. They did drop an announcement trailer that did feature some, you know, very visual images, some very atmospheric images in the video. Didn't really have any like jump scares or anything like that, but you can definitely tell the tone and the atmosphere of the game is, of course, going to be super creepy. Who would have guessed? You should see on your, I'm probably rolling the B-roll of this trailer right now. So just looking at it, man, like, you know, obviously super dark. I never played the other games, so I don't really know the story. So it looks like there's some sort of like sci-fi alien type thing going on with it as well. But it looks super creepy, and I'm glad that they're continuing the series. I know Amnesia is like kind of one of those games that kickstarted the whole, you know, streaming yourself being scared as hell playing these games. So it's cool. It's cool they're revisiting and going back to Amnesia to drop a new release. And plus, I just like having more survival horror games, more games to scare people, get your heart rate up, get you like, you know, super like tense and nervous and excited and everything all at the same time. Because there's just something about the genre of horror, whether it be games, movies, you name it, that when you're scared, that heightened adrenaline and excitement, and then once you get through that intense moment of terror, like the relief, like that whole experience combined, it just can't be beat. So I'm glad that there's a new horror game coming out this year, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of others. And I look forward to learning more and then seeing more about Amnesia Rebirth. All right, and the next topic we're getting into is definitely game related, but it's more on the TV side, and that's that a Last of Us TV show will be coming to HBO. Now check this out. The show is currently being written by Craig Mazin. So Craig is the mind behind the HBO series Chernobyl. Now I've never seen it, but I've heard like fantastic, amazing, great things about this show. Now super awesome that they're actually taking someone who's already written a show that's very similar, I guess, in tone a little bit to The Last of Us, and then putting him on this project, so we know it's coming from a guy who has a good track record, right? But then the cool thing is that this is a video game show. It's going to be on HBO, so that means, you know, they're going to fucking throw the budget behind this thing, and it's going to be something pretty. It's going to be something sweet. So it's a super exciting time. Craig is also working with the Last of Us game director Neil Druckmann, so that's pretty cool, right? So to make sure that the vision and the tone and the emotion and so on and so forth of the game is captured in the TV show, right? Because you don't want to lose it. You want to kind of make sure it blends well with the game. And I'm sure with that, I would not be surprised if there, you know, right now there's no information about when the show actually take place in the series of Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2. But with them working together with the game director, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of Easter eggs or some sort of nuggets that would maybe tie things together between the first and the second game. I mean, who knows, right? But the fact of the matter is that we're about to get a big budget video game show. And, you know, it's definitely an exciting time for video game media. You know, we just came off the heels of the Sonic movie, which wasn't great, but it also wasn't disastrous like we thought it was going to be, right? And then, of course, you know, in last year we had Detective Pikachu. I think we're starting to get to the point where these, you know, media executives are starting to realize, hey, like, the video games and their stories have a lot of potential, but let's actually put people behind these who know what they're doing, and let's make something good out of it. But yeah, Last of Us HBO series incoming. Man, this is gonna be hype right here. This is gonna be interesting because I love me some HBO shows. Speaking of which, Westworld season 3 coming up. Westworld season 3, man, I'm ready. Now, our next story is a pretty interesting one about how the news got leaked and released to the public. So this story is regarding a new Star Wars project that might be coming this year. Let's get into that. There's an unannounced Star Wars game titled, currently, Star Wars Project Maverick that is potentially on the way. Now, the way that this news came to us, it was initially spotted by a user on Reset Era, but there is this Twitter account that data mines the PlayStation Store and then tweets like images or graphics, like artwork of games that are coming out. I guess it's meant to be used as when new releases come out, kind of just make people aware, hey, there's a new game on the store, here's that game, here's the information, here's like the artwork and so on. Well, I guess while this I guess the mind behind this Twitter account was data mining the store, doing its thing, and it came across an entry into the store currently titled Star Wars Project Maverick. Now, the title also came equipped with some artwork, and the artwork, obviously, is Star Wars related, and supposedly in the background of the artwork is the planet Mustafar, you know, where Darth Vader's castle is. And you, of course, see a Star Destroyer and some X-Wings as well. So kind of giving us maybe an idea on what this game is about. Now, it's said that for this Star Wars Project Maverick game that's being worked on by EA Motive, and it's a smaller, more unusual title. Now, you know, there's no other details than that, than the artwork, the Star Destroyer and the X-Wing, and it being made by EA Motive. But with the idea that it's smaller and unusual, makes you wonder, like, what is this game? Is it? I see the word like Maverick, right? I'm thinking like Top Gun and shit like that. So I'm like, is this going to be very, you know, pilot focused? Like you're an X-Wing pilot and you're going on more, you know, space battle related missions and things like that. A lot of potential there, man. If they do it right, and I'm not sure what engine they're going to be using and that sort of thing, but if done right, this could be really good, man. Especially if they do like a co-op experience where you got an actual fucking squadron, you know, hey, Red 2, Red 3, like, you know, stuff like that. Like, it's a lot of potential, and that could be a lot of fun. So, you know, hopefully whatever they're working on, that they're you know, treating it with respect and you know, doing a good job. And hopefully we'll find out more about this, I mean, during E3, if E3 actually happens, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully find out more about this game later, and, you know, hopefully it ships this year. I mean, it'd definitely be cool to get a new Star Wars game, especially hot off the heels of Fallen Order, which is a dope game. So hopefully this is just as dope. Now, our next topic is about Riot's next game, which is titled Valorant. It looks like Valorant is a first-person shooter. Now, let me step back, actually. So, you know, of course, we already knew that, you know, Riot is making all these different new games, right? Riot, of course, is the people that make, the developers that make League of Legends. So we already knew that they were making, you know, a bunch of different games, right? So we got Valorant, which is going to be a team-based first-person shooter. And so last Sunday, and I didn't catch this when I made my last video, but last Sunday, they actually put out like a full round of a game of Valorant. It was an internal playtest with the developers, and they put out a full round of the game. And I'll roll the game during the video, but so you can check it out. But the gameplay, when you watch through it, you can obviously tell where the inspirations for the game are coming from. And it basically looks like a blend of CSGO, Counter-Strike, and Overwatch. So they took like the abilities from Overwatch and then dropped into a game that plays tactically and strategically like Counter-Strike. I mean, even to the point where you whip out the knife to move faster. So, I mean, this is interesting, right? So you watch the gameplay. Artistically, of course, like, it looks okay. Like, it kind of has that Overwatch vibe to it. So I don't know. Some people might feel like it's a little too close to that cartoon animation style like Overwatch. But I mean, it looks all right. But gameplay wise, I don't know how I feel about the mixture of Overwatch abilities with that super fast twitch combat of Counter-Strike. I mean, if you watch the video, you know, the kill times are fast as fuck, like Counter-Strike. And then you add in these different abilities that, you know, obscure vision. They even got, now, this is where I was like, all right, guys, like, calm the fuck down. Like, come on now. This is pretty blatant, right? They even have the one ability in the trailer where the guy, or the character, I think it was a female character, actually shoots an arrow like Hanzo from Overwatch that illuminates, you know, where the enemies are. And I was like, come on, guys, like, you couldn't get more creative and make your own shit. But either way, you know, that's there. So obviously they're taken from, you know, those two different games very hard, Overwatch and Counter-Strike. I don't know. The reaction doesn't seem that good for this game, so I'm a little worried about when this comes out, like how it's going to be fully received. Granted, this is just one round. We don't know all the different characters, all the different abilities, all the different maps, and so on and so forth. But I mean, I don't know, man. I would just be a little concerned. Like when you want to borrow from a game and you're borrowing like that hard, I'd be a little concerned. Like I think about like games like Hi-Rez Studios Paladins, right? Like how heavily that was influenced and how much shit they brought from Overwatch, and I don't think that game did and is not doing that hot right now. And I mean, this can go that same route where they're borrowing so heavily from these other games, and it almost feels like they're just trying to like, oh, this game's really good, this game's really good, let's just make a game that just mashes it together, right? Like, that's kind of what this feels like. So I don't know. I mean, I can't put my finger on whether this will be good or bad, but right now I'm leaning towards the side of this is not good, man. Like, this is not good. I don't know if these two gameplay styles, these two games will blend very well. But like I said, we just gotta wait and see. You can't, you know, automatically judge a game by just this one round, this one video. We gotta actually see how it feels, how it plays, etc. But I mean, that's Valorant, right? So we now got a full look at the gameplay, a full round of the game, so we can kind of get an idea of the direction they're going, and we'll see. All right, for our next topic, we got a good one, y'all. This week, the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo dropped, where you can play through, like, you know, that first little opening portion of the game where you're bombing the reactor. And I haven't played it myself. I have not played this demo yet myself, but I have watched, you know, a lot of gameplay showing off the different things in the game, like the detail and how the battle system works and so on and so forth. And I gotta say, this looks a lot better than what I thought. I mean, well, for one, I mean, we pretty much knew that the graphics were gonna look really good. You know, Square Enix and their team, like, we knew this game would look good. You know, the last titles, right? Like Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 15, visually looked really good. Kingdom Hearts 3 looked amazing when I played it on Xbox One X, so I wasn't surprised in that department. But it's super detailed, man. Even watching the cinematics and how the characters interact with each other and their mannerisms, even the facial expressions and the slight eye turns and things like that, and the, you know, like the eye rolls and, you know, what have you. Like, it looks really good. It looks super detailed, man. Even the backgrounds, the environments, the voice acting sounds really good. Like, hearing Barrett talk, I'm like, yo, yeah, that's Barrett right there, bro. Like, that's kind of what I pretty much would imagine talk like. Cloud sounds like what I would imagine sound like a basic toned hero, like, with a somewhat, you know, young voice. Like, everyone sounds like how I thought they would sound playing through Final Fantasy VII. So they definitely did a good job of, you know, finding the right voice actors, you know, for the English voices in the game. But man, yeah, I mean, again, of course, detailed graphically, visually, looks really good. The combat system, it definitely looks like a more refined version of the Final Fantasy 15 combat, kind of what they were going for there, where you try to blend, you know, the turn-based RPG elements with the, you know, more action game hack and slash type elements. And looking at this remake, it seems like they got a good blend. Like, you know, of course you got your, you know, your basic hack and slash, and then the game goes into not a full freeze, but a super slow-mo. And, you know, you can spin gauge. You know, I think it's called ATB gauge. You got to spin the bar to, you know, cast like fire and brazier, different abilities and things on enemies. But it seems like it flows very smooth. The flow, it eases right in, slow motion eases right into it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a smooth. It looks like a smooth. I haven't played it myself, so I can't speak exactly on how it feels. But just looking at it from what I've read, it's very smooth and it blends very well. You know, unlike the Final Fantasy 15, where it was kind of like it wasn't fully there, right? Like it wasn't perfect. You saw what they were going for and had good parts to it, but this definitely looks like they figured it out, refined it, and now it's just kind of where it is right now, and I feel like it's in a good spot and it looks really good. So combat looks really good. But yeah, all around, I think majority of people, including myself, were impressed by the demo, and I think it just got us more hyped for the actual release of this first episode, I guess, of the Final Fantasy 7 Remake. And I look forward to, you know, when the game actually drops and getting that full experience. But I think the demo was a smart move. It let everyone know, like, hey, like, feel this game, and let everyone know, like, wow, you know, because most people are scared of reboots and remakes, right? Like, whether it be movies and games, they're like, oh fuck, like they're messing with a classic. Like, why are they doing that? And you can tell they obviously treat it with respect. Of course, the iconic soundtrack is there. It was sick to hear the title music, the battle music, everything. But everything's there, man, and they fully realize it in this modern way while paying perfect respect to the classic version. It's a perfect blend of modern and classic. And I mean, I'm hyped. I don't know about y'all, but I think they did their thing on this one, and it's looking pretty good. All right, and the last topic we're gonna cover on today's gaming recap is the Ghost of Tsushima story/release date trailer. Woo! Y'all, Ghost of Tsushima looks fucking good. Ghost of Tsushima looks dope. Like, I mean, we had seen other, you know, trailers and gameplay of this game, but getting an idea of what the story is, and then getting a little glimpse of gameplay here and there, and then hearing the voice acting, and then hearing the soundtrack, man, the score of that game, it sounds really good. Like towards the end of that trailer, I was like, yo, like, this is about to be a crazy cinematic experience that is gonna, you know, it's typical PlayStation exclusives. That's gonna be just nuts. It's gonna be an incredible experience. Along with that story trailer, you know, of course, we got the release date, and the game's releasing on June 26th of this year. And I'm sure, and I would not be surprised, y'all, that we get like a PS5 version dropping later on this year. Would not be shocked, and I'm actually hoping that they do that. We also got a look at the different editions of Ghost of Tsushima that will drop on June 26th. So let's walk through those. So the first one that they showed was the Ghost of Tsushima Digital Deluxe Edition. So the Digital Deluxe Edition comes with a digital art book as well as with director's commentary, a dynamic theme, and a skin set for your horse and your character, as well as some in-game items. That retails for $69.99. Then they showed two different physical editions, right? So the first physical edition, of course, is the special edition, which comes with a dope-looking steel bookcase, digital mini art book, as well as the in-game items, director's commentary, and a different Hero of Tsushima skin set. And that, of course, is $69.99. And lastly, we got the collector's edition. Now, this collector's edition looks fucking dope. They got some good looking stuff in this. We got, of course, the steel bookcase. We got a cloth map. We got a war banner. We got a wrapping cloth. And of course, the really nice piece here is we got a Sakai mask with the stand. You can see this mask being worn by the main character in the trailer, actually. But those are like one more thing here, the 48-page mini art book, we also get that as well. And those are all the physical items that you get. And everything looks great. I'm sure the cloth map and the war banner and the wrapping cloth will all be good material and well made. And I'm sure Sony will do a good job there. They just in the screenshot look really good. Steel bookcase is the same as the special edition. Then of course we get the same digital downloadable content, the dynamic themes, the skin sets, in-game items. Those are the same as the digital deluxe editions as well. But that collector edition looks pretty good. Like, it's tempting. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, it's tempting, y'all. I might have to do it. But it retails for $169.99, and I put a screenshot on the screen as well for all the different editions that I'm sure you've seen, so you can kind of get an idea of what they look like and what you'll be getting if you purchase one of these editions, and if you feel like going ahead and pre-ordering. But that'll do it, you guys, for this week's gaming recap. What did you guys think about all the different news that I covered in my video? And was there a piece of news that I didn't cover that you want to mention down in the comments? We can have a discussion about it down there. If you enjoyed this gaming recap, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And then again, if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified when I drop my new videos every Sunday. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see y'all on the next gaming recap. Peace.